South Africa's steel industry faces fresh turbulence on the back of the European Union announcing plans to increase tariffs on steel imports in a bid to protect its domestic markets. The EU is proposing a 50% duty on anything above certain limits, which are being cut by almost half. While South Africa is technically exempt from these duties, the impact could still be huge, given that the EU is the second biggest buyer of iron and steel.
The main impact will be through a redirection of the steel, particularly from China and from India. The problem here is that we already have a glut in the international market. The market is overproducing the steel by over 500 million tons. Lots of that is going to end in Africa, including South Africa, in a situation wherein we're already having waves of factory closures, massive retrenchments, and of course the industry that is devastated by crisis after crisis.
The EU move comes as global steel makers face mounting pressure, especially with the US already applying similar tariffs. It's a shake-up that's also affecting supply chains right here in South Africa. Kiwusa's president says more job losses are looming, not just at steel plants, but in connected sectors like manufacturing, logistics, and even energy.
Over and above this general crisis, right, we are facing tariffs from the US. But there's also another tariff that is coming, by the way, from the EU on the basis of greenhouse emissions as part of their climate change policy.
Labour analyst Mojalifa Musi says government needs to act fast and decide whether the steel industry is worth protecting. He cautions that the more than 100,000 jobs forecast to be lost when ArcelorMittal SA shuts its doors is a drop in the ocean compared to the shake-up the industry could yet see.
State has to play a meaningful role in reindustrialization. Steel is very strategic for reindustrialization. And therefore, it does mean that the state has to have a significant foothold in the industry.
Musi also warns the labour market is fragile, even for those currently working.
If there's an X hanging over your neck, who do you become productive? You have not to examine the impact of that on productivity, on existing employment, and what it is that people are saying in associated industry.
While the analysts do warn that there's too many irons on the stove, and South Africa must pick one. And as a matter of priority, economic growth is that one. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.